America is really ungrateful for the things that we have. From my experience of visiting Mexico for a whole month, I was able to see the life in the community out there and many in the things that they had. For example, they had water shut-offs that would turn off for a couple days and turn back on. The kids had to pay for school. Didn't have the proper health care. Labor was really bad with low pay, and they had just like more like a farm life rather than a professional job, as you can say. When I went to go visit my family there for a whole month, I was able to experience their lifestyle. And it was really different from the American lifestyle here. So I believe every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, their water would shut off, and they just had this big room in the bottom of the house that would be filled up with water, and that would be able to pump water throughout their whole entire house. And then once the water was back up and running, it was able to fill it up again. And that's because the water wasn't able to maintain a sustainable amount throughout the whole entire city, or through certain parts of the city it took places. So some parts of the city was shut off on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, while other places were shut off on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And when I was there, I also noticed how my cousins had to pay for their schooling, which that included them to pay for their uniforms, their books, and they didn't really have electronics at that time. So it was really bad for them, and they had to walk to school because they didn't really have cars at the moment. They didn't have a car at the moment, so they walked to school. And it made me realize how us in America, we have our free education, at least for middle school and high school and even elementary, in some cases preschool. Another thing that I noticed was that their healthcare is probably not the best. I had a lot of people that I met that were really sick, and their healthcare was not the best service. They would just go in there and come back out. We're told the same stuff. Some of them didn't get medications, or some of them just didn't even go to the doctors, and they would just wait it off at home. My uncle, he had to go to work, and his work was about 20 miles away, which took him like almost an hour to walk. And he would have to wake up 5 in the morning and be by work at 6. And he had to take care of the animals at the farm. It was a milkery, so he had to milk all the cows, make sure they were making the right amount of milk, and sanitizing it, making sure it was clean. So his labor was really hard, and all he was making was about 12 to 15 bucks a day, which their currency is a lot lower than ours, but even with that amount of money, it was really low. So he had to walk. So he would get home around like 5 o'clock or 6 in the afternoon after walking, because they only had one car, and at that time they had another son who was going to university, but the university was way much farther away than their house. So he had to sacrifice his car so his son can go to school and get the proper education he wanted. So then their family was able to thrive. And here in America, I guess you can say it's the same thing. There's some people who sacrifice their cars for the kids, but I know the government helps Americans a lot more when we're struggling, rather than them not getting no government support at all. So this made me realize when I was there that a lot of Americans are really ungrateful for the stuff that we have, especially since we just take things for granted. We have a really good healthcare system, even though with all the problematics that we're having in America right now, our healthcare is still a great system. People who can afford it, of course, can qualify for low-income healthcare or free healthcare. And over there, if you can't afford it, you just can't afford it, and you just deal with it. We're really lucky how we have a good water company here where we're able to provide water, and if the water does get shut off, you can always contact the city to give you an extension or something, rather than over there, you have no option, but they just turn off your water. And our pay here might not be the best, but our minimum wage is getting higher, which does show that our government or our state is trying to make a better life for everyone, while over there they don't care how much you're making or not. It's all on you how much you make, and that's what you have, then that's what you're going to use. And my experience from all of that was a lot of Americans are grateful, like I said. I was really ungrateful, and then ever since I came back from my trip, I realized that I'm really happy for all the things that I have. I'm really grateful for everything that I have, and I couldn't ask for a better life.